Welcome back to Marketing for Your Future on Bluehorn TV. I'm your host, Mike White, and on Marketing for Your Future, we're going coast to coast to find the top talents in marketing, advertising, media, and all things related to helping businesses grow. Join us today from the 34th floor in New York, New York. We have Wendy Glavin with Wendy Glavin Agency. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. Actually, 32nd floor, but it's pretty close.
Plus or minus 10%. We're all a little bit off today. But thank you very much for coming on. Tell me a little bit about your agency and the services you provide your customers.
So I provide, a lot of people don't know the differences, but marketing, public relations, social media, advisory, executive writing, they kind of all fall under the category called marketing communications. So typically I do a mix of the things that I just described, and the core of all that is writing. I mean, whether you're writing a blog post or you're writing a social media post or an article or LinkedIn article, it's all writing. So I'd say that's really the core of what I do.
And you're a published writer. So tell me a little bit about where you're currently published.
Yeah, so I have a column in Equities I'm very proud of. They named it after me. It's called Glavin's Tech Talk. I also I'm a feature contributor for compro.biz, which is communications professionals. So between the two, it's, several 100,000 C-suites worldwide. And I try to educate people about emerging technologies. Interestingly, so for Equities, I typically do landscape pieces on what's happening in it, not these headlines, but what's happening in AI or what's happening in cryptocurrency, et cetera. But, during these times, I didn't feel comfortable. So hopefully my article will be published today, but it's called The Unexpected Perks of Remote Work, which it doesn't really go on the lines of tech talk, but I do talk a lot about video and showing up and putting yourself out there. Mike, I want to mention one other thing that I learned. Just because I speak at events, I attend events, I participate, I'm not talking virtually, I'm talking prior to. So I'm an outgoing person, but I'm telling you, it's totally different when, you're speaking, I'm speaking to you, but to do like a LinkedIn Live video or a Facebook Live, it's challenging. So it's not actually the same skill set, but that's something I'm working on.
So as advice from someone who you've worked from home for a long time, what advice can you give to others who are just starting to emerge into the new norm?
So the advice I give is, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due, which is to the managing director and vice president of Morgan Stanley, Carla Ann Harris, who says, if you bring your authentic self to the table, people will trust you. And trust is at the heart of every successful relationship. So what I would say is, instead of people always would say, okay, you need to find your passion, you need to find your passion. Instead, look back. You could look back at your whole life and look at your background, your experiences, your relationships, your hobbies, your interests, because then you'll be able to find transferable skills and common patterns. That's how I became a writer. I had written all my life, but I just didn't own it. So you can find a lot of different things when you look at your past. Think about when you were a child. I mean, I loved to play the piano. I forgot about all of that. So it was my 62nd birthday last week, and we were singing some karaoke with my boys and grown boys. And I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot how much I love singing, and I'm going to buy an electronic keyboard. So it's even simple things like that you can, build on. And I think instead of worrying about, the cases and watching the news and, sort of going down that rabbit hole, we have a little bit of extra time now to sort of reflect on, different things that we can do.
So with coming out of the COVID crisis, what do you think the biggest change is going to be with businesses and how they market themselves over the next 12 to 24 months?
I think that what I've realized is that professional and public personas have merged. So let me give you an example. When I would go to events, let's say a blockchain event, it's typically like, hi, I'm Wendy Glavin, nice to meet you. What do you do? What's your name? But every single call that I have is always, including this one, how are you doing? How are you managing? It's much more personal. And in the end, it's people to people. It's not B2B. It's not B2C. It's people to people. So if you, I think it's brought about is people are much more empathetic, caring, compassionate, or don't aren't focused on, so that's my bed in the background, or somebody has a cat that runs across the computer screen, the computer laptop. So I hope that stays forever, because I think it's really important. That's a really important thing, because we need to deal with that. We always used to say people need to be transparent and authentic and be purpose driven. But I really think that now we're sort of being forced to be that way, which is a really great thing.
Is there any advice that, if you look back 10 years, when you're 10 years younger, any advice that you've learned over the past 10 years that you wish you had known back then?
That's a great question. 10 years ago, I think that I actually know, because what I think is that, wherever I am today, I wouldn't be here, even though there's been trauma, there's been mistakes, there's been risks, there's been money lost, money gained, etc. But my life wouldn't be as it is. So I typically feel like here's a simple example. Sometimes people will say, because I'm divorced, but I'm friends with my ex, they say, you wish you had married someone else, and I said no, because I wouldn't have my 3 amazing boys. So then my friend, who's an attorney, says, well, yeah, but then you would be married to somebody else, and you have other children, you wouldn't even know your boys. So I don't think that we can really go back and think about what we would change. I think it's more like reflecting on, just as I said, our whole career or background or life. I mean, even if you're just graduated college, and I guess, sorry to run on with this, but I don't really feel that I don't have an answer for that, because I don't look at things of like, can I change the past? All I can do is change today. You know what I mean? I can't change what happened in the past, Mike.
All right. Well, if you look at changing today, but let's flip it the other side. Finish the sentence. In 2 years, Wendy Glavin Agency will blank.
Will write a book. It's going to be a combination of, it's definitely going to be nonfiction, a combination of the different things I've been through in my life, and how that's taught me how to, keep me moving forward in business. So it's both personal lessons and business lessons. And I would say the other thing is, something I always wanted to do was, because of the fact that I have, the 3 grown boys, 21, 26, 28, to do reverse mentoring, like older people can mentor younger people can mentor older people. So I'd like to be starting that sort of alongside my agency, but continue to do that, mentor young people, and vice versa.
Well, I appreciate you joining us on the program today. To find out more about Wendy Glavin and the Wendy Glavin Agency, visit us at bluehorn.com. We look forward to seeing you next time on Bluehorn TV.